welcome to my latest experiment. This is the big one, the one I've been waiting for all my life.
What is it?
Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
Oh my God.
The cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
And I am the voice of the voiceless.
And there is no one that does it better.
The Guy and Harley podcast, streaming all over your face.
Perhaps that was the most important part.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Pigville on the internet. I leave suicide notes next to me when I sleep. I think I'd rather people think I killed myself than I went and OD'd. And the reason that I tell you this is that so you can see that I've been to the dark, and I know that it knows me. I'm Harley Neville. Welcome along to the Guy and Harley podcast.
And I'm Guy Pigden.
Oh, stop cracking up halfway through my emotional lyrics, please.
Well, they seem pretty silly, really. But I mean, I guess who was that?
That was Weird Science from his song, The Man with No Audience.
Well, I guess that sort of explains why he's been leaving those suicide notes, doesn't it?
No, he's actually quite good. I actually quite enjoyed his stuff, to be honest. That's why I quoted him. So yeah, welcome along to the Guy and Harley podcast. Here's the situation tonight. Guy, sober as a judge, sitting next to me, halfway through his first beer. It is the first day of alcoholic August. Yep. Dry July just finished. So I was invited out to dinner and drank a few brews while I was there.
You indulged.
Well, I did not, to be honest, not that many, like 4 or 5, but it feels like a lot after 30 days of none.
Yep. 30 days of night.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yes, here we are.
Here we are, late again with the podcast. The problem is if we don't record the podcast early in the week just goes, man. Because the problem is I specifically work quite a lot on the second half of the week. That's when I do all my work. So if it kind of gets stuck in that vortex, it's very hard to find a gap. So we apologise to all our dear listeners. Niam's Patreon money is safe. He will not be giving us any.
Niam Hegarty.
I thought we were going to crack it because we did 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
But
well, we have to explain to the listeners that Niam Hegarty swore an oath. Now, Niam Hegarty from the band Laura Palmer.
The now
defunct band Laura Palmer. But he's working on other shit. He's got other things going on.
Yeah.
But just look up Laura Palmer for now. Maybe he's getting like residuals. Anyway, what were you talking about Niam for?
He was going to give us money.
If
Patreon money.
If we did 4 episodes in a row that came out on time every Sunday, 4 Sundays in a row on time, he would become a Patreon supporter for $1 a month. And we have failed him at every turn.
Yes.
His money is definitely safe.
It's safe in his pocket. So what's been going on?
Well, lots actually.
Still single?
Still single.
Still broken up.
Still, no updates on that front.
Operation Sparrow
Fart.
Flew the coop.
Operation Flying Sparrow, yep, no, that's, like I said, that's pretty much shut down
That's
now.
done and dusted.
That's done. I have to accept it.
We've only been talking about that for 3 months, but now that's done and dusted all after one podcast. Last podcast wrapped it all up. So there's nothing to continue on there. It's just all done.
Well, look, while we're talking about it, I mean, it did give me a lot of closure seeing her the other week. It was very good for me to see my very recent ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. Your sun and stars.
Exactly, my moon.
Or is it? Because I thought it was moon and stars.
Yeah,
I've 100% been misquoting that for about 5 years.
Well, I'm not sure. It's definitely from Game of Thrones, though. I know that.
Yep. I think it might be sun and moon, but it's definitely not moon and stars.
I mean,
if you think about it, why would it be? I mean, the sun and moon at least kind of, connected, right? The moon comes up, the sun's there.
All right, it's enough. I think it's enough. All right, so look.
That's enough. I said that's enough.
So yeah, sorry, we're finished there. Anyway, so I just have some exciting news for the longer listening people out there of the Sifty 150. Sperm Quest is back on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Sperm Quest was my about a year ago. I went to the Fertility Association after seeing an ad on YouTube. I went to the Fertility Association
and offered them a donation. Normally, sir, we get these at the clinic.
I just showed up with it in my hand.
Of bottles.
That was just in my hand.
Sir.
My sample. No.
Sir, normally we get you to do that here at the clinic.
No, so I went to the Fertility Associates to see if I could become a sperm donor. Right? Now, I had given it some thought. I decided on this idea. I went in and I checked it out. Yeah, I mean, the idea is that you sort of help. It's a way for me to help people while at the same time passing on my genes, right? And so I didn't end up doing it about a year ago, and it was because Angie never overtly disapproved of my scheme to inseminate up to 10 women. But,
yeah,
but I did
for some reason
I did get the impression that it mattered to her.
And you guys are still together, or
no? Well, we're not. No,
but there's definitely no correlation between those two things. It's definitely not because you were hoping to inseminate 10 random women that you would never meet in your life. You don't think that was any contributing factor
to what?
To your eventual breakup?
Oh, no, because I didn't do it. I think maybe if I'd done it, she might have been like, maybe she'd be a bit upset.
But it was just an idea. It was a pie in the sky idea.
It was an idea. I did the opening stages. I went in,
whack off into a cup.
I did go in there. I gave them a sample. I jerked off into a cup. And I handed it.
The idea was there.
I handed it red cheeked to the lady behind the counter, and even I was a little. It was a little bit like, even I was a little bit bummed out. And as I handed her my small cup of sperm.
Yeah.
But anyway, all my guys are swimming. That's the good news.
Yeah.
But no. Look, Angie never like overtly disapproved of this scheme to inseminate up to 10 women, because 10 is the maximum that you can impregnate in New Zealand, like via this artificial, and they don't want my kids like running into my kids one day.
They don't want your kids having sex with your kids.
with me one day if there's just too many of them around. So to stop that, it's a 10 baby limit.
You have to be wary. You have to be very wary of the 20-year-old that you're dating. When you're 54, you have to be very cautious. From now, this is for future Harley. It's 54-year-old Harley. Be very cautious of that girl that you're dating you like the look of, because she had some similar features that reminded you of you.
If you meet a girl with a short girl, bald with a hairy back, and she's 20, you just stay the fuck away, mate. Future Harley.
But this is the problem, because actually it's not going to be a girl who's bald or overtly hairy. You won't know about that.
No. Well, I'll recognise her stubby fingers, though.
You might recognise her
stumpy fingers.
Or disgusting hands. You might.
I have stumpy fingers.
You might,
listeners.
You might pick out.
All you fellow stumpy shinies out there.
You might pick out
her
sizzler hands, sizzler fingers. You might pick those out. But otherwise, it's just a girl. She's got beautiful blue eyes, a lovely smile. And you're like, this girl's the one.
I'm like, this chick's funny and charming, with a beautiful smile and twinkly blue eyes.
And plus, she's short, which is great, because, it means that I'm a little bit taller than her, which is what I need. And before you know
to make me feel like a man. Otherwise, I can't get it up.
Before you know, you've slept with your daughter.
Yeah, well, that's why there's a limit of 10. Okay? So there's a limit of 10. So if I donate to the sperm clinic, there's a limit of 10 kids that can be born as a result of that. Now, so The listeners will be happy to hear, Guy, that I am HIV, chlamydia, and gonorrhea free.
Nice.
I tested negative to all of that.
You go, I tested positive to all of those.
It was a positive result, so I'm very happy.
So I'm very satisfied. I'm not sure that's how these work. Well, congratulations.
Yeah. And so look, I presumably this is actually going to go ahead. And this is an ideological decision. It's based on my understanding of the world and evolution. And, the way I look at it is I've found a way to replicate my genes and help people at the same time, okay? So this is my evolutionarily stable strategy, all right? And then on top of that, the children that are being raised by multiple families in geographically different locations, right, that basically assures the survival of at least some of them. So
one by you as a sugar daddy.
Well, what a sugar
in 20 years time.
Well, another one, yeah. That'd be a grandkid as well at the same time, wouldn't it? But yes, anyway, the fact that they're geographically kind of located all around the country as well, that means that they are virtually assured to some of them will survive. That's pretty good from an evolution standpoint.
Well, keep us updated, eh?
I will.
What else has been going on?
Geez, you really fucking busting my balls here, Guy.
Well, I can bring up something if you want.
Yeah, well, go ahead, because I'm quite drunk.
Okay, so first I wanted to talk a little bit about a director called Frank Darabont. Do you know who that is?
No.
Any guesses?
An old dead white guy that made classic films from the 60s.
No, not dead. Old white guy. Yeah, I guess so. He is the director of The Green Mile.
Okay.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, Tom Hanks.
The Mist.
The Green Mile and Shawshank Redemption were directed by the same person.
Yep.
Oh, that's why they're so similar in feel.
That's right. Plus, they're both Stephen King books.
Oh, my world is being expanded.
And also, he was the showrunner for The Walking Dead in the first season. In the sort of troubled first season, which he ultimately was fired off. And he sued AMC, who's the cable company that produced The Walking Dead, basically saying that they owe him a lot of money, because he created the most popular cable television show of all time. He wasn't paid his due. He was unjustly fired, and it was all messed up. And it was a very dicey situation. And so now it's all gone to court, and some of their proof that he sort of deserved to be fired and that it was an untenable situation between themselves has come to public, come out in the public. And I thought it was a great example of how you feel when you're a director sometimes. But so this is a great peek. Oh, this is a great peek inside the curtain.
It keeps doing that.
Yeah, I know. It's because I've got it on this thing that I'm about to read from.
Okay.
Hopefully it'll be fine. But it's a great, kind of a window into Hollywood and how sort of creative geniuses are sort of given quite a lot of rope to hang themselves with. And also there's very few professions except director and actor where you can sort of rant and rave and everyone goes, yeah, he's a tortured artist. But the thing is, he's a mad genius. Yes, he does these things, but this is totally okay. Somehow this behavior is all right. So I wanted to just read a couple of these emails and then I want you to weigh in, Harley. Justified? Not justified. Is he caring about something too far? So this is to the other showrunner, right? Guys and gals, I'm in a state of absolutely boiling rage right now. I just kept Denise on the phone for 20 minutes making her listen to me scream. I hope she conveys to you what the tenor of it. because you need to grasp my fury. I have never been a screamer, but I am now. The work being done on this episode has turned me into one. Congratulations. You all accomplished what I thought was impossible. You've turned me into a raging asshole. Thanks a lot, you fuckers. Everybody, especially our directors, better wake the fuck up and pay attention, or I will start killing people and throwing bodies out the door. Fuck you all for giving me chest pains because of the staggering fucking incompetence, blindness to the important beats, and the beyond arrogant lack of regard for what is written being exhibited on set every day. I deserve better than a heart attack because people are too stupid to read a script and understand the words. Does anybody disagree with me? Then join the CCAM operator and go find another job that doesn't involve deliberately fucking up my show scene by scene. that was one. Here's another one. Please stop invoking the writer's room. There is no writer's room. When you know as well as I do, I am the writer's room. The lazy fucking assholes who were supposedly going to be my showrunners threw that responsibility on me after wasting 5 months of my time. If it were up to me, I'd have not only fired Chick Eagles and Jack Laguidis when they handed me the worst episode 3 script imaginable, I'd have hunted them down and fucking killed them with a brick. Then gone and burned down their homes. I haven't even spoken to those worthless, talentless hack sons of bitches since their third draft was phoned in after 5 months of all their big talk and promises that they'd dig deep and have my back covered. They didn't have my back. They rammed knives into it. Professional courtesy is something one earns, and those douchebags have not earned mine. I don't want to see them CC'd on anything anymore. They renounced that privilege by not even trying to live up to their job descriptions, by instead leaving me dangling in the wind like a hanged man. Calling their 103 phoned in would be vastly overstating because they were too busy wasting my time and your money to bother picking up the damn phone. Those fucking overpaid con artists. And it kind of goes on and on.
He's got away with words.
He's an excellent, eloquent writer. And if you've seen Shawshank Redemption, you'll know he was a great writer. So it's no surprise that these emails are very entertainingly written, although full of rage.
Yeah.
And I probably will, like, there's another one that is probably... Denise, I'm putting my anger and disappointment at Gwyneth aside when I say this. I promise I'm not being hyperbolic. Remember our experience with Alan Garfield on The Majestic? We were all so shocked because he was like, he had no grasp of the basics of his craft, and it turned out later that he'd had a stroke he was unaware of. And a few months after we wrapped, the massive secondary stroke happened that put him permanently in the hospital. I'm honest to God wondering if Gwyneth hasn't experienced the same thing. That's how fundamentally fucked this footage is. It's as if she's totally lost her grasp of what to do. It's like we yanked some kid with no experience out of high school and put her in charge of directing a show. And what's really weird is that she doesn't seem to know it.
Gwyneth who?
Just one of the directors.
Just somebody.
So, when I was reading these, I was kind of like, you know, yeah, he's taking a little bit too far. But I also felt so much empathy for the man.
Yeah.
Because these were the kind of emails that I wanted to send when I was making the zombie film. And no one, there was a lot of people that were doing awesome jobs. You know, the production designer, the makeup artist, DOP. And then there was the lead actor. No, the actors, all of the actors. But then there was just a lot of people that really weren't. And, you know, I would think these things. Maybe not quite in the same way, but I would definitely have these thoughts. Because I just really cared about the product I was trying to make. And it seemed like these people didn't. And it seemed like these people were way below half-arsing it. And it seemed like because of that, you know, it was making the film really difficult to make well and compromising all the good work that everyone else was doing. So, I definitely felt a little bit of empathy for the guy. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it was absolutely unprofessional, and as far as like grounds to fire the guy, if you're later on proving how unprofessional he was, those emails are going to look pretty bad in court. You know, like it's like, okay, well, in a professional sense, who has to deal with that shit? If someone at my work was emailing me like that, I'd be like, what the fuck, cunt?
That's your reply to these eloquently written verbal lambastings.
Yeah. What the fuck,
cunt?
Yeah. Well, sometimes a short sentence is all that's required, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, they're very funny and they're all very entertaining and stuff, but as far as, like, professionalism goes, it's absent. And, you know, there's not really any way around that. I couldn't write a work letter like that to anybody and expect to get away with it. And just the fact that you're a big established person doesn't mean that you should be able to flaunt the rules and be a fucking asshole. So, I don't know, man. I mean, like, I think it's like probably he did develop it and all that stuff, and he probably deserves a whole lot more money. But as far as like proving it in a court of law, yeah, he's going to lose.
Well, and do you think that, like, if he was right, so if these two writers had done a terrible job and he had to rewrite it all himself, and if this director had also done a terrible job of shooting it, which had cost the production millions of dollars, and he had to fix and reshoot himself, are these then justified? Or is it simply a matter of, well, yeah, maybe they did do that, but you would just simply have to word it as in something not so extreme?
Well, if that email is a professional work email, then he's not being professional. That's the final answer. You know, like it's like this is a work environment. At what point does it become professional or acceptable to use, you know, so many vulgar words in an email and to speak like that about your colleagues? You know, like that does. I mean, it seems to me that at the end of the day, those are unprofessional emails.
Well, we'll see how that story develops, but I will also say that, like, for me, if these emails came to light, these ones that I sent, no, I've never written any emails like that. I understand that the paper trail, you know, you just can't do it.
Yeah,
I stand by, but this is maybe I did and I didn't realize it, you know, because what I'm about to say is exactly what he says. He basically goes, he stands by those emails. Like, he's like, I did write them because they needed to be written.
I stand by all of that.
I literally stand by all those points that I made, such as, seeing those dailies today left me gobsmacked and thinking I should fake my own death, leave town, and live under an assumed name. There are shots we can use from Gwyneth's footage, but only shots. Right now, the sequence doesn't exist. Reshooting this along with everything else is something we have to plan for. Fake your own death. Sometimes I want to fake my own death and leave town. Definitely when you sit there and watch stuff just not working. Like, you know, you re-look at something and you go, oh man, none of this really cuts together and it's really all just terrible and we spent so much time trying to do it. So I empathize with the man, but yes, he probably took it a little bit too far. There was a tweet from someone and he was like, we all want to write these emails and at times in this industry feel like we should. When we get that feeling, don't. That's probably good advice. What else you got, mate?
I filmed recently with the guys from Viva La Dirt League for their series Bored, which is very good. And I sat down as preparation. I sat down and I've watched over the last few days
all of them.
Well, 53 or so of the 80-something episodes.
Pretty good effort.
Yeah.
Much better effort than the fact that they made 80 episodes so far.
Yeah, it's huge.
Compared to one episode per 3-year output.
Yeah. Hey, now, how do we stop that noise, Guy?
Done, mate.
And make it part of the show.
Done and done.
Okay, good. Because that was fucking annoying and it kept on distracting me. So I filmed with Viva La Dirt League and for their series Bored, and it went well. I watched a fuckload of their content, and I stalked them and checked out their Patreon and all that stuff, and they're doing really well. They're doing vlogs. They've got a lot of content going on. They're working really hard, and they're putting in putting out a lot of great content. And so it was very inspiring to go along and be on their set. And after working with these inspiring professionals, I came home to our place and got back to work with what I've been doing, which is uploading the Guy and Harley podcast to YouTube. And I got to the episode 91, Vagina in a Can. And I began uploading it. And I feel like I just noticed a discrepancy.
Yeah, kind of disparity
between the way they operate and the way we
what
operate.
we were coming up with.
Episode 91, Vagina in a Can. But to be honest, I did listen to that episode. Actually, I listened to episode 92, and it was very good.
Good, yeah.
I have uploaded those. So I've uploaded 103 of our 106 episodes, and this is the 107th. So I'd kind of hoped to finish it today, but it's a bit late now. I uploaded 103 episodes of the Guy and Harley podcast. That's between 150 and 200 hours of content up to our new YouTube channel, the Guy and Harley podcast. So go and search that and subscribe, because we've only got 15 subscribers, and there's 150 of you Sifty 150 listeners, and god damn it, if there was ever a time we needed you to act Neem Hegarty, this is it. Go and hit subscribe.
Why now specifically?
Well, why not?
Okay.
Just now.
What else? You had like 50 topics that we hadn't got through.
What are you on about?
Yeah.
You're the worst co-host.
Well, I've got heaps, mate, but I was just waiting for you. See if that was where is the end there?
Oh, well, okay, Lance Roberts. I don't know if this is the troll hole or not.
Okay.
But this is what. Should we do the troll hole entry anyway?
Yeah.
This is the troll hole. So Lance Roberts commented about me online on Facebook. I said, "Hey everybody, I'm filling out a form to be on a reality show. And they asked me how would my friends describe me. So I posted, "Hey guys, how would you describe me? Have at it." And this is what Lance Roberts said. He said, "Styling himself after Jackson's Hobbits, Harley provides an inspiration to short, bald, hairy men everywhere, that they too can date astonishingly beautiful women, take the lead acting role in movies, and write inspirational poetry. Despite Harley's constant pandering to throwaway memes, the pink dollar, or in fact anyone who will listen, Harley presents an enigma, like the engagement ring you have to rescue from inside a dog turd. A true talent hidden inside an otherwise unexpected exterior."
Yeah.
Felt close to home, feel it's pretty good, pretty accurate.
Pretty good stuff. He was an eloquent writer himself.
He was.
So, not quite, I mean, probably a little bit better than what I wrote. You remember what I wrote?
What did you write?
A royal cunt with a little crown.
Right. My best friend, ladies and gentlemen. "Hey, internet, I'm just looking for some positive reinforcement. I'm fishing for compliments."
As mum gave me a frowny face on that one.
Did she?
Yeah.
Good, mum. Yeah, my fucking best friend. Everybody.
Harley's mum. Hey, he was fishing. Hey, sometimes you're not going to catch what you want.
So I went to see Dunkirk.
Oh, yeah.
So there I was, pants down, dick out, in the cinema.
Fully aroused.
Fully aroused. The fucking opening titles are playing. And I was sitting there and I was thinking, what kind of beastly humans am I going to have to sit next to tonight? Because the public, I don't know about them, and so anyway, I was sitting there on this row, and these two hot blonde girls came like walking from the far side of my row all the way over to me, and I was like, oh holy shit, what's going to happen? These two hot blondies are going to sit next to me. But they didn't.
Of course they didn't.
No, they didn't. They just moved right on by as I smiled grotesquely.
Well, they were like, that guy's got his pants down and his dick out, and then he's fully aroused. We should probably keep walking. Just act like we weren't going to sit here.
So, anyway, that fucking movie, I sat down, dick out, pants down, and I was just ready to go, and I was so ready for a war movie because listeners know how much I love World War II, right?
You know how much Harley whacks off to World War II history. Like, now he's gotten into liking, like, World War II Facebook history pages, and they're just, like, popping up, like, just a like on the, like, Hitler conversing with one of his.
Does that pop up on your newsfeed?
With Himmler on the thing, and just a little like Harley Neville. And
what does that pop up where you see it?
Yeah.
Have you seen that on Facebook?
Yes.
So everyone knows I'm liking Nazi stuff.
Everyone knows that you're whacking off to Nazi World War II propaganda on Facebook.
Oh yeah, well, look, I am a member of a lot of Facebook groups about the Eastern Front and World War II. So I do.
That's so good, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, I know the ones you'll be seeing. You'll be seeing the ones from the history page that I like, whatever it is. Yeah. I'm also a member of a bunch of groups, neo-Nazi groups. Nah, they're not neo-Nazi. They're history. But yeah, so this fucking movie. I was 20 minutes in, and at about straight away I started having some concerns. Like pretty early in, like 5 minutes in, I was like, fuck is this? What the fuck is going on? And I slowly went flaccid, and then they got onto the beach, and I'm not gonna talk spoilers. There's no fucking spoilers. You can't tell spoilers to this fucking movie because there's no fucking story. So don't worry about it. Like nothing I can say is gonna spoil this for you, right, guys? And so they get on the beach. This is the first 5 minutes of the film. I'm not gonna spoil it. The first 5 minutes of the film, they're on the beach, and it was just like deathly silent and wind-swept, and there's all these men sitting there, like looking sad and holding guns, and the foam was washing up off the shore, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? It was like, if that was...
I want to see Hitler! I want Hitler!
No, I was like, for fuck's sake, the military is like the loudest thing in the world. They don't do anything quietly apart from like when they're killing people late at night.
Yeah.
But like everything else is loud, like go there, do this thing, shoot at that thing, kill these babies, and then you get on this beach and it's fucking deathly silent. And I was like, oh, that's weird. They would have like marshalling areas, and they'd be like, you look out at this wounded guy, and why the fuck aren't you like on the AA fucking battery? You're fucking fired. And so it was clearly very early on in the film like an arty, abstract kind of interpretation of what it might have been like to been there, not actually a fair representation at all of what it actually would have been like. And I was like, well, fuck this. And about 25 minutes in, when I realized it was absolutely going to be like that all the way through, I was like honestly thinking about leaving. I was like, should I just go? Because
that's a real big call.
I was like, should I just fucking get out of here? But I was like, Harley, what are you going to do? Hang out with your girlfriend? Fucking, you got nowhere to go, mate. You
got no mates.
Fucking just sit down and shut up. And so
you got nothing better to do, mate.
You literally have nothing better to do. This is
all you have right now. This shitty fucking film is all you have in your life.
Fucking
so you better
enjoy
fucking
it.
sit here. You better watch it through to completion because you have nothing else right now.
So I did. I sat there and I fucking beared it.
Yeah.
But how the hell fucking Christopher Nolan could manage to make like the daring escape of 300,000 men from the beaches of France after a devastating German blitzkrieg boring is beyond me. How he managed to make that boring is beyond me. We're talking like fighter jets fighting one another, and he made it boring. I was like, fuck, all right, shoot him down or don't or whatever. I don't even care.
Well, look, if you want to revisit the Batman trilogy, Dark Knight, it still holds up. Absolutely. Mainly because of Heath Ledger as the Joker.
Yeah.
And the kind of turn as Harvey Dent to Two-Face is a very interesting and compelling storyline. the White Knight, the best man in Gotham, becoming the worst. That's interesting. But if I rewatched like all three of them before, or the first two, before the third one, and the first Batman, like the first Nolan Batman, it's kind of the shits. It's got Qui-Gon Jinn as a samurai. Like, what?
I remember not particularly liking it.
Like, it's real kind of flat and boring and just kind of like, this hyper-realistic, but also all the, action is shot real shit because he can't move properly in the Batman suit, so it's all just cut to fuckery, so you can't see what's going on. And then, obviously, we've done a little review of The Dark Knight Rises, that terrible death, having a kiss while a nuclear bomb's about to go off, Bane's voice being a little bit stupid. There was just, so if you really look at, he made one outstanding Batman and two crappers either side of that, but he gets a free pass for that because, of the middle Batman. But, Memento's pretty good.
Well, also that other one.
The magic one?
Inception.
Oh, yeah, Inception's pretty good.
Yeah.
And also the one about the magicians, which I can't remember the name of now.
The Conjurer.
It's definitely not that.
Right.
But, yeah, so, look, to be honest, your review, which was actually...
Well, I haven't quite finished, actually.
Okay.
All right, just here, I did want to give it a fair go at the end and say, so I had issues, but here's my actual thing. I understand it's a technical masterpiece, but I don't care. I'm at the movies to be entertained, not shown some vanity project about how beautifully shot you can do it. But the acting's good. What's fine, the vehicles and uniforms are authentic, but it's arty and slow and nearly silent, and it's more Thin Red Line than Saving Private Ryan. And I love war movies, but for that reason, I'm also very picky, and the one key thing I need in a war movie is realism. And this is not a war film. It's a surrealistic, arty drama set in a war background.
Also, your Facebook review. Do you remember what that was?
Yeah, it was Christopher Nolan. You're fucking fired, mate. And I actually posted that on the escalator out of the cinema. I was so furious, so disappointed. I was so heartbroken that I was on the way out.
In a rage.
But a sad, heartbroken rage. Because you know how I've been
rage.
looking forward to this movie for a long time, to be fair.
Yep.
I knew that it was coming up before most people knew it was coming up because of my war nerdery.
Yeah.
And so I've been looking forward to it for a long time. And just like fucking Hacksaw Ridge, it just let me down. Now, it wasn't as bad as Hacksaw Ridge, but it wasn't very entertaining. And so, it was sad.
Yeah, interesting, because even though I really take your reviews with a real grain of salt, and I really cannot trust you at all because you're so biased towards some things and so... lenient on others, and absolutely no barometer. It just varies from thing to thing and is really impossible to judge.
Not true. This is my best fucking friend. He just doesn't understand me. He just doesn't get what makes me tick still. He still, after 18 years of making movies together, he still doesn't fucking understand what makes me tick.
But that review, I was like, okay, I was going to see that today. I'm not going to see it.
Which one? My Facebook one?
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan, that's it. You're fucking fired,
your
mate.
Facebook one. I was like, I'm not going to see that today. I'm going to go see Baby Driver instead, which is by Edgar Wright, who did Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead and The World's End. And that was really good.
All good films.
That was really enjoyable. It was really well done. It was really interesting, sort of crime caper. Lots of sort of unexpected stuff happening here and there. Great visuals. Cool soundtrack. Actually figured out a way to make music in a film make sense, as opposed to normally you hear a music track playing. That's very artificial. Automatically you're saying, hey audience, I'm playing a music track to you. Hey audience, these lyrics and stuff are in no way related to this film, or maybe they are, but even that is way on the nose. It's not like a proper film score that really envelops you and makes you part of the film. I feel like soundtracks always separate and distance you from the film a little bit.
Well, Blink-182 montage in American Pie. Fucking don't you talk to me about tracks in fucking video movies, mate. That's some gold shit. When he's running on his way over to turn off the webcam because he's on his way to have sex with the sexy foreign girl.
Nadia.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's some good shit.
Well, really, what was great were, her boobs in that webcam. But
you misogynist.
What?
She was an excellent actor.
She may well have been, and so were her boobs.
Excellent actors.
The pair of them. But anyway, so in this case, they really found a way to integrate that in a way that seemed seamless and made a lot of sense. Although was, on the same token, a little silly that essentially this driver would use music soundtracks to time his bank robberies out.
Right.
Or his driving away from bank robberies out. Which is, if you really think about it, kind of impossible because obviously you take one wrong turn, you have to change or deviate, suddenly the music's all out.
All out of sync, yeah.
But they kind of did address that even as well. It was actually pretty good. Right. It was fucking good. So I'd
like to watch it.
Yeah, I recommend that. So there's our 2 movie
But have
reviews.
you seen Dunkirk?
No.
Yeah.
So
Are you going to go see it?
I'll probably still get down there. But
I saw it at IMAX.
There's a few.
This is my first time ever going to IMAX.
There's a few good, as it should have been seen, because he shot with IMAX cameras.
Yeah, well, that's why I went, because I read somewhere.
Well, what did you get out of that extra IMAX vision?
Well, I was just a big fucking wide, boring movie. A big widescreen version of a boring fucking movie. Basically,
A wider, more boring frame of a boring movie.
Like, don't get me wrong, it was amazing to look at. It was an amazing looking film, but it was just, I didn't care about what was happening in it.
Doing pretty well at the box office.
Yeah, well, I'm glad because that's why I went. That's why I paid top dollar to go to IMAX because it's like I want to support sci-fi and war films at the cinema because I want them to keep making more of them. So sure, Dunkirk was a pooper, all right? So it's right up there with Hacksaw Ridge. But the next one might be the next Saving Private Ryan or Band of Brothers.
So if you could pick out of Hacksaw Ridge and Dunkirk, which would it be?
Oh, Dunkirk's way better. It's like you can't
because I didn't mind because if you recall, apart from the
on the nose drama
and the Christ metaphors, and the blatant tugging at heartstrings, I was much more okay with Hacksaw Ridge than you
I
were.
was. Yeah, well, look, I despised Hacksaw Ridge. It was very disappointing to me. And Dunkirk is like 1,000,000 times better than Hacksaw Ridge.
Oh well, I'll probably enjoy it then.
Well, I actually would be surprised if you didn't enjoy it. I think you will enjoy it.
But the current reviews are Christopher Nolan, you fucking fired, mate.
Yeah.
And Baby Driver, good job, Edgar Wright. Well, okay, so I've got a couple things.
I got a now Dry July. It's the first day of Alcoholic August.
I mentioned that.
I raised 100. Thank you. It's called a recap, motherfucker.
Recap from the beginning of the podcast. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm giving some context.
Okay.
So Dry July is the first day of Alcoholic August. Dry July finished today. I raised $107 for people living with cancer. And that is the lowest I've ever raised out of the 3 years I've done it. So the first year, my goal was $250 and I raised $220. Second year, my goal was $250 and I raised $178. And the third year, my goal was $250 and I raised $107.
Law of diminishing returns. It's like sequels.
Yeah,
just slightly going down each time.
It is. It honestly is. But I just wanted to say that I got an anonymous donation, $10 from $10.44 from somebody called Nasty Beer Lover.
44 cents?
Well, it's to do with they cover the fees and stuff. Yeah. And so anyway, $10.44 from Nasty Beer Lover. And he says, how am I supposed to drop something in your drink when you're not drinking? Bring on August.
Cool roofie rape joke there.
Yeah, so now I have to be worried about the Nasty Beer Lovers raping me.
Good old roofie rape joke in jest that we all just have to laugh off.
Could be very serious. He could be outside the window right now.
Could be jail time.
That's probably Guy. It's probably Guy. Yeah. So I saw tonight the zombie film that I acted in not very long ago. I saw it in its entirety. It's not finished. It's but it is all put together, kind of thing, and still being worked on and all that. And it's really good. It was temporarily the name was changed to There's Something About Gavin. Now, that my character is Gavin, so I was happy to be the title character, but it was only a working title. It was definitely a working title.
It was a temp title.
Yeah. But I was happy with that idea. But now they've changed the name, which I won't announce it yet, but they've changed the name, and it's good.
What's the film time clocking in at?
15 minutes.
And your expectation versus delivery, how far away were the two?
Actually, I reckon it was pretty spot on. I actually feel like it's been pulled off. It's good. Like it really works. No, I'm pretty happy. Like, I watched it and I wasn't even that unhappy with like the acting, and normally I am. I was like, there was things that I was like, well, I'd like to do it differently, kind of thing. Yeah. But there was nothing that I was like, oh, I'm doing it totally the wrong way and it's irredeemable. It was just things like, maybe there's another take. That, could we choose some other take?
You got a better take of me. Says Harley's.
It's a classic when I'm always hitting up Guy for other takes of me.
Is there another take where I do that better? Could we try like cutting out a lot of this, like a lot of the pauses and the bits where I'm acting? Could we try cutting those out?
I do that,
and just stick to the lines.
I do that. I do enjoy cutting my own parts down because I think I hate the acting. But it was fine, it was good, and it's really taken shape, and I'm pretty excited. Looking forward to it coming out.
Well, I look forward to that.
We also a while back we acted in a show. Both Guy and I acted in a show called Only in Aotearoa, and it plays on Māori TV at 9:30 p.m. on Thursday nights. And the first episode just started last week. But if people wanted to watch it online, you can just if you search Māori TV. I don't think you could listen to it. You probably can't watch it overseas, so you guys probably don't need to bother. But you Kiwis, look up Māori TV on demand and Only in Aotearoa, and you can watch that. And it went really well, and we shot it however many months ago, and it was in summer, and it was good fun. But it screened the other night, and it was good. But you weren't in it yet, Guy. Did you watch? Did you see it?
I think I just saw your bit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, well, it was one very small bit, but every Thursday, presumably, I acted in like 4 skits. How many did you act in?
2.
Right. Well, okay, well...
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see. I'm not really looking forward to my parts, to be honest.
Well, my netball one wasn't hilarious. It was all right. The one that I was in the other day was like, it was fine, but it wasn't like amazing.
Well, yeah, I think there's one funny one where I play a dirty cleaner, and I think that will probably be okay. Although I would have liked to have, can I try a couple more takes? Just freestyle some stuff. Just keep it rolling. Just roll the camera on me. Let me just do a bunch of options for you. In a perfect world, obviously this is time sensitive, so we can't really do that. So that'll be interesting to see. The other ones I am a bit more skeptical about. I remember I was talking to the director, and basically I did it the first time, and he was like, okay, let's try it again and do this, this, and this. And I was like, okay. And basically I did it just worse.
Doesn't your heart sink when sometimes when you're on set and they go, okay, cool, but how about we do it this way, which is totally different to the way that you prepared for?
Yes.
Are you ready for that? And you're like, yep, sweet as. Fuck it, I'm pumped.
But you couldn't be any less ready.
Yeah. And then
you couldn't be any more knocked off your feet.
Yeah. And then they're like,
that second.
And then they're like, action.
Yeah, and no, it's a problem, and obviously it was a problem for me because I'm sure they didn't use that second take because they're like, oh, well, that's the fucking shit, so we just have to go with that, the first one, which wasn't very good, but it wasn't absolutely terrible. But it's just funny. That's why when I direct, I really try and keep my suggestions simple and try and not like overload with, hey, try this, and this. Because I guarantee you that the actor remembers maybe one or two of those points and is then trying to remember the other 3 points you made.
And their lines.
And it's all too much. So I am very much a believer in like just minor adjustments, and you can minor adjust 5 times through 5 takes to get to the point you want to. I think that's a better way to do it than try and give it all at once, and I don't think you'll get that thing that you wanted.
Well, I like it like that.
But, you know, so we'll see how those... But I did think it was funny that you... major star of Only in Aotearoa, not credited.
Well, did you notice that?
No, you told me.
Oh, well, you dick. You just broke my story.
Well, that's the story. I thought we were getting into that story.
Well, it was, and you fucking stole the punchline. Fucking dickhead.
When were you going to tell that part of it?
Well, we were getting there. You were just having a waffle. Weren't you? Jeez, you know. So, anyway, they didn't fucking credit me. You know. Way to go. Boo-hoo. And so, I mean, here I fucking am, you know, hustling for this shit.
Yeah.
You know, I've met a lot of people in my lifetime in New Zealand, and any one of them could have been watching Māori TV the other night at 9:30 p.m. on Thursdays, and they're watching the skit. Now, it wasn't a big skit, and they might be going, hey, I wonder if that's that guy. What's his name again?
Is that guy from that zombie film that I didn't watch?
No. Well, no, they'll be like people that I've met at some point, you know?
Yeah.
You know, there was, you know, throughout my life. What's his name again? Honda? And then they check the credits and would see who it's the name that they recognise, because I can't quite remember my name. And then, no, I'm not fucking there, am I? You know? And then it's like, oh, well, it mustn't have been him.
Yeah.
So...
Was a different guy.
Yeah, it was just someone else.
It wasn't. It wasn't Harvey.
What? Yeah, exactly.
It was a different guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was a bit unfortunate, but also a classic tale.
Well, they better credit me in the next fucking ones, because that was my smallest skit as well. Right. I think the other ones I got much bigger parts, so that's the shittest one. So if they haven't credited me in like the other ones, the big ones, I'll be fuming.
Do you want to tell that story of what the director said to you?
Well, you have to remind me what he said to me.
When you thanked him for the opportunity.
Well, I did thank one of the directors. I'm not sure if he likes me or not. And I was like, all right, yep, thank you very much, sir. And I shook his hand. And I was like, thanks for the opportunity, which is something that I like to say to every set. Every set that if somebody gives me a role, I like to at the end shake their hand and say thanks for the opportunity, because, you know, at the end of the day, I need these roles, I want these roles. It is an opportunity for me to prove myself.
Being polite.
It's not just being polite, it's being grateful, you know, because they could have chosen someone else and they chose me, and so I like that. And to one of the directors, I was like, oh, well, thanks for the opportunity, and he was like, oh, it wasn't me. He was like, it wasn't my decision, or something like that, you know. And I was like, duh, all right. All right, well, thanks anyway.
You know, there's a lot of people that would have just said, no worries, mate.
Yeah.
That's what I would have said had it not been like, had I not given you the opportunity.
Yeah.
I'd be like, sweet ass, man.
Yeah.
Good on you. Good work.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
It wasn't my decision.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Just classic tales from the Hollywood underground. So I'm going to open up the Uber files.
Oh, good.
First off, there's been a real problem lately with Uber's location system. So it'll say that someone's pin is somewhere, and it's like a block away. And it literally happened to me ongoing through a whole night, so it wasn't just like, it was just one off. But it creates a real problem, because that's when people get real fucking shirty with you.
Oh, mate, I get so fucking angry when I can see the Uber driver across the road, and he's like fucking looking around like a dickhead, and I'm like, I'm standing there like where my fucking pin says I should be, and I'm fucking waving at him with my fucking phone, you know, and here's this guy like looking around everywhere but at me. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Of course, obviously, you know...
he's on the wrong side of the fucking street as well, you know, and you're like, come on, dickhead.
The pin cannot necessarily be on your side of the street. Like
Yeah.
it may be right in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
So he's not.
I mean, like, this is his fucking job, right? Develop an eye for it, like...
Develop an eye for a pin in the middle of the street.
No, develop an eye for the guy that's clearly waiting for an Uber. You go, I am within 50 meters of this person. I better turn over my fucking shoulder and have a look out the window because I've got to see. And there I am across the road, 1 star, motherfuckers.
Well, anyway.
Fucking you find me.
I got one guy. So basically, he said,
Fucking
so it was
Uber
like
drivers.
I got a Harley Neville. I got a classic case of a Harley Neville.
These fucking Uber drivers.
So I
ruining my nights.
said to go. I was told the pin was essentially on Queen Street, and I go to where the pin is. The guy's not there. I try and call him. No answer.
I hate it when they call me. Fuck, it pisses me off. I hate it. Like, I'm like, Jesus, mate, I'm right here.
Yeah, he can't find you. That's why he's trying to locate you.
Yeah, but sometimes they call, like, straight away. Like, sometimes they call, like, straight away. It really does seem like they have not bothered to even, like, look in the general vicinity. Well, they just pull up and call.
Time is money, isn't it?
Yeah, well, fucking have a look then, mate. You save some fucking time, won't you? Instead of waiting for me to not answer my phone.
It was... I asked, what an asshole. See, when I said a royal cunt earlier with the crown, and you guys, guy was being a bit harsh there. He probably overstepped the line on that one. His mum had to read that. Well, now you see why, don't you? So you see, I'm entirely justified. So anyway, this guy then called me, and this was his first thing to me. Where the fuck are you?
Yeah, I feel like saying that sometimes.
I'm at 80 Queen Street where you put the pin, sir.
Yeah.
Well, where the fuck are you? I can't see you. Are you on Queen Street, sir? Yes, I'm on fucking Queen Street. Where the fuck are you? Well, I'm on Queen Street. Are you at the bottom of Queen Street at 80 Queen Street where the pin is? Oh, I don't know exactly where. I'm at the bottom of fucking Queen Street. So I go to the bottom of Queen. I was like, so you're definitely at the bottom of Queen Street? Yes, I'm at the fucking I guess I go to the bottom of Queen Street. He's not there. Pull around the corner onto Custom Street. He's waiting on Custom Street. Where the fuck were you, for fuck's sake? I was on Queen Street, sir, where you put the pin. Oh, yeah, well, obviously, I've fucking been waiting here. I've been waiting here the whole fucking time. Yeah, well, your pin said you're on Queen Street, and when I asked you, you said you're on Queen Street. I was on Queen Street. This is Custom Street, sir. Oh, well. Silence. Fucking motherfucker. Yeah, that's right. You're on fucking Custom Street, not Queen Street. You didn't even know what fucking street you're on because you're so fucking drunk, you dipshit.
Yeah.
Anyway, we sort of drive in silence, and I was really pissed off because this guy was so rude to me. And he was also in the wrong.
Yeah.
And I'd also tried to clarify, and he'd told me the wrong place again.
Yeah.
And all of this whole kerfuffle maybe took 4 minutes. It wasn't like, like I found him pretty quickly.
Yeah.
After taking his wrong direction and improvising.
Yeah.
So anyway, we get to his house. He wakes up because he'd fallen asleep. Where the fuck am I? You're at the pin where you put your pin, 27, whatever the street was. What the fuck? Where the fuck am I? Where the fuck have you taken me? I've taken you to the pin where you asked me. You remember when we started this trip? I said, are we going to 27 blah, blah, blah street? And you said, yes. That's where we are right now. Well, this isn't my fucking house. This isn't my fucking house. Hold on. All right, thanks, mate. See you later. He was so drunk. He was at his house, and he didn't recognize his house and street.
He's also clearly just an aggro person.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well. Like,
but what a prick.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of thing I have to deal with from the Harley Nevilles of the world when they catch Uber.
Hey, excuse me, I'm never overtly rude to them.
Well, that's good. You just rude on this podcast to them.
I always chat to them politely.
But I will brighten up this, just to add one more. because this has never really happened to me before, but I think it's interesting to note.
Finally got a blowjob on the road.
No, that
from
was
a grateful customer.
That was some other Uber driver in the news recently. I saw you share that that story.
I did share that
Pretty funny.
on the Guy and Harley podcast page, facebook.com/Guy and Harley. It's where I post all this stuff. I shared an article there about an Uber driver getting blown
as he was driving,
and the person in the back. But I think that the woman in the front was there at the beginning, as in she was traveling with the Uber driver, and a passenger gets in, and he already is one star motherfucker because he's got a fucking passenger.
Yep.
So she has to sit in the back, and then the passenger starts blowing him, whoever the fuck she was. And I was like on the Uber files this week.
It was funny because
must be Guy.
Guy's up to his old tricks again. Well, yeah, I mean, that one's funny because I'm always a little concerned that someone's going to start some shenanigans, a couple's going to start some shenanigans in the backseat for a laugh.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of problems with that because, I always used to think, I was like, but it's so, I'll just see them.
Yeah.
But you actually won't because the angle of the rear view mirror is looking out the back.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's not looking to the groinal region.
Cheeky handy, mate. Well, you telling me you've never had a cheeky handy in the back of a taxi?
I'm not sure.
Our mate.
You go. Hang on. Alone or with someone? Please clarify.
Now, a friend of ours who I'm gonna make up a name, and I'm not going to use his last name. It's just I'm just going to pluck this name out of the air. Okay.
Yeah.
This guy's name is Nick, and he actually got a blowjob one time. On the ride home from town, he got a blowjob from his girlfriend at that time.
Yep.
As his father was driving the truck that took them home.
I remember the story.
This is an old school friend of ours.
And thinking how disrespectful it was to the poor dad.
It's just gross as well.
Oh, everything about it is wrong. Everything about that story is wrong.
I have sexual pleasure right now, and I'm looking at the back of my father's head. That's what I'm looking at as I'm receiving sexual pleasure. And that's weird.
And my dad, there's no way to maintain the illusion, the blowjob.
Well, I guess she just did it very quietly.
I don't think it was that quiet.
There was no deep throating.
But, I'm always worried, when people kind of start lying down in the back, one person lies down on the lap of the other.
Yeah.
But I can never really see.
Yeah. What's going on? Firstly, why do you care? Just because, you're worried about jizz going everywhere?
I'm worried about an explosion.
Right.
I'm really
obviously you don't want
jizz. Because there's no way. Jizz is not actually. Look, some of you may know. Jizz is not that easy to clean up.
You want.
If someone jizzed in the backseat of your car and the jizz went on the seats or the carpet, I think that's really in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
get to it super quick.
A good wash will be all right. You give it a. Well, yeah.
But you'd have to really shampoo that. For it to properly.
It'd be a real
come
wash.
out.
Yeah. It'd be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Well,
so that's
why you must insist upon blowjobs as opposed to hand jobs. Obviously, you got to contain that, right? Makes sense.
It makes sense, but you
could even opt for full penetrative sex over a hand job. Really.
Well, yeah. Those two things are better, but obviously the reality is, a lot of people are in a blowjob are still going to let that fly at the end.
Well, maybe, yeah. But that's pretty grubby. So a dude comes in her mouth, and then she's like, "I've got a whole load of cum in my mouth, and I'm in the back of a fucking Uber, and I'm just going to spit it onto the seat."
No, I was more thinking that. I mean, that could happen too, but more she just
pulls away at the appropriate time.
Yeah, of course, and lets it spray all over the seating in the back of my head.
Yeah. Yeah, well, look, I would frown upon any woman that would do that. In the back of a taxi. I feel like it's inappropriate.
I feel like but the thing is, the only way for me to know for sure if hanky-panky is going on is for me to adjust my rear view mirror downward to their crotches.
Yeah.
And then if I'm wrong...
the main issue as well is that then they would be able to see your crotch and see that your penis is out. So
I'm not sure.
risky.
I'm not sure they work.
It's risky.
But I think the big problem is like you tilt it down and you're wrong.
Yeah, they're like,
and
what
they're
does
like,
the pervy
what
driver?
the hell are you doing?
No,
mate?
because surely you can just act like it's a bit of a. I'm just giving it a wiggle.
I
I'm
guess.
just giving it a wee readjustment.
I guess so.
I want to see if you're giving him a blowjob.
It's still just so I kind of just keep driving. I don't do that, but I'm worried. I'm in a state of anxiety. I'm in a state of anxiety.
Blowjob anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, on a brighter note, after that horrible experience with that Uber customer, another guy comes in. We start talking about filmmaking. He asks me what I've done. I talk about the zombie film. I talk about my enjoyment of Peter Jackson. He's like, oh, yeah, cool. I'll definitely look it up, etc., etc. Get a message from him the next day. Hey, man. Hey, I was the guy that you gave a lift home. I've actually got something to send you in the mail. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, sweet as. I give him my address. Foolish?
Maybe.
But want to know what it was.
On the way is some anthrax.
Or on the way is him.
Yeah.
To my house.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it was all positive because what came in the mail was what is hanging up on the door over there, which is a bad taste t-shirt, which I do not believe is very easy to come by. He got it over in England. And I basically messaged him and thanked him and said, hey, thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. That's up on my door now. And he was like, no worries, man. I'm glad I could help out and good luck with all the filmmaking. So the moral of the story is the world is 90% assholes like Harley, but 10% the good people, the kind-hearted souls, the humanitarians of the world. And I bumped into one of those. And it almost made the other 90% tolerable. I say almost.
That's weird. That he just randomly sent his Uber driver a T-shirt.
Well, I mean, to be honest,
It's cool. I'm not knocking the guy. It's very commendable. I like it. Spread some kindness and all that.
Well, I mean, he sounded really into the filmmaking. You know, he was really interested in the filmmaking. He was really digging my taste in movies. And this T-shirt, he said, you know, didn't fit him. He was disappointed it didn't fit him. But if it can give you some joy, there you go. So, would I do that for someone? Yeah, maybe.
Nah, too much effort to go to the post
too much
office.
effort. Yeah, of course.
Post office, too much effort.
But if I could do it without going to the post office from my desk,
Yeah.
I might do that.
You know, they fucking closed down the nearest post office to us recently, and I went there to post a DVD because we sold another one to Alex. Thanks, Alex, if you're listening. And I had to go post it. Got to the post office, but they've closed it down. This is a bad development for my business of selling DVDs.
Well, they've got this these new things called I can't remember what it was. It was like something like
The internet.
Yep.
Torrents.
No, mystamps.com, where you basically order online the stamps, you print them out, and you just stick them right on.
Ooh.
Don't have to go to the post office anymore.
Well, that would be handy. You might have to look into that.
Yep.
It might be a cost saver too.
Yeah, well, apparently they're cheaper than buying the stamps.
Right.
So there's just better all round.
Well, I might have to get onto that.
Yeah, the future's here, my friend.
All right. Well, look, we actually need to wrap this up because
Fair enough.
I've got work in the morning, and due to my extended hours at work, I will be doing the full 8. I'll be taking the full 8 tomorrow.
Taking the full 8.
I'll be taking the full 8 tomorrow morning at 11 a.m.
He took the full 8 and ran with it. And let Hitman hit it. And Mailman hit it. Damn, bitches. A little bit of Dr. Dre there.
So
tickled Harley.
It did tickle me, that one. So yeah, I've got work in the morning. Now, speaking of business, if you guys would like to support us, please do. The most effective way to do that is Patreon. Now, you guys can give us $1 a month if you want, or you can give us $1 once and then cancel your next payment. That's fine too. That's a way of giving us just $1. But give us $1 a month as a pledge, and we will spend that money making all of these excellent, hilarious podcasts continue. So you can do that. Otherwise, you can go to facebook.com/Guy and Harley and hit like. You can go to our YouTube channel, search YouTube and the number 2, and you will find, Pigville and the number 2, and you will find us.
If you search
YouTube and the number 2.
See how that gets
Yeah,
you.
see where that takes you. Search Pigville and the number 2, but probably just search Pigville. You'll be okay. And find us there and hit subscribe and hit like. And please go along and find the new Guy and Harley podcast YouTube channel, because we are going to start live streaming on there, live streaming the show. That's the plan. I haven't really announced that yet, but that's the plan. And I want to get some subscribers on there, so go along, search the Guy and Harley podcast on YouTube and subscribe to us, because we've only got 15 subscribers. We need 10,000 views before we can monetize it, and we've currently got just a bit over 1,000 views. So that's actually not bad. We're a tenth of the way there, but
We're a tenth of the way, guys.
so we need you to go and check it out anyway. So go along and search the Guy and Harley podcast on YouTube and hit subscribe to basically everything you find. And other than that,
Well, I'll just leave with this one quick little story.
okay.
When I was going to Baby Driver, I ordered my ticket online. Now, I used to print out my tickets.
Because fuck trees.
Exactly.
Oh, yo.
Because fuck the world. But I changed my tune. And so instead, I simply give them my phone with the email with the barcode on it.
Yeah, mate.
So what I did is I handed over this to the lovely lady, and she began to chuckle. And she was like, I think there's a little problem here. I think we've gone out of something, and I'm not sure what we've got. And I was like, what the hell are you fucking giggling about, you stupid bitch? And then I took it back, and somehow the email had clicked out of that email and
Gone to your dick pics, and
Gone
she was
on-
just laughing at your little dick.
gone on to my next email, which happened to be uncut DVDs. Now, uncut DVDs is a porn, sort of a porn newsletter for DVDs.
Why are you subscribed, Guy, to an email list for who?
Uncut DVDs.
Uncut DVDs.
I mean, when did DVDs...
For a start, what's your interest in DVD
For a
porn?
start, we'll do 2 questions. What's my interest in DVDs anymore? And then what is my interest in porn on DVD? So antiquated.
And not just that, but what is your interest in receiving monthly updates about the porn DVDs? Or weekly updates or whatever it is?
Weekly. I think. So basically... I'm not sure how I got onto the newsletter.
I'm not sure how I got onto the newsletter. I don't know. This must be a spam thing.
It's just weird spam. Not sure how that happened exactly, but I've been receiving those letters for like probably a decade.
Why didn't you eventually?
So
block
why?
that?
And the question is, well, why didn't I unsubscribe?
Why didn't you unsubscribe 9 years ago?
So the answer is because in uncut DVDs,
You became nostalgic.
in uncut DVDs, they have pictures of the DVDs of these like naked chicks, and so every time I get one of these, I just scroll through and go, "Hey, there's some hot naked girls here."
So you let me get
So
this
I'm
straight.
getting
Let me
sent-
get this straight. You get an email from Uncut DVDs once a week,
Or a month, a week or a month.
and you actually click on it.
Yeah.
And then you have a little scroll through.
In fact, let's go to the last one.
Why?
Because of the pictures.
Why? But there's so much porn on the internet. Why would you need it in your personal emails?
Well, I don't.
Right, yeah. So I'm looking at it now. It's kind
There's no great pictures on this one.
It's sort of soft core-ish. Like I'm sure on the inside it's so, but it's really just, it looks like a bunch of crap.
There we go.
There's some
good.
tits. It looks like a sort of a. Well, it looks like the magazine covers. It looks like a whole bunch of magazine covers of
Well, I guess it's-
various pornos. But I do think it's weird that you would even want that.
Here
in
we go.
your email.
Listen to some of these
okay.
titles. Oiled up natural tits. The Stripper 2. Unfinished Business, Drenched in Love, BFFS, barely legal number 150, Facialized Volume 4,
Yeah.
My Russian Exchange Student 2, Secret Spa. There's some good stuff in here.
Yeah.
But the answer is I don't really unsubscribe from anything.
Yeah.
And
You should start.
Even following on from this, I'm not sure if I've unsubscribed. But
Yeah.
I'm making a big call right now.
Yeah, he's unsubscribing as we speak.
But
This is a moment. This has been happening for 10 years.
This has been happening for a decade, guys. This is big on the Guy and Harley podcast. But I also feel like there's definitely a couple of...
We've helped him with his addiction.
The juice leaders. I'm going clear. Guys. No longer. I do have a feeling that I may have unsubscribed, because I do unsubscribe from things from time to time, and a lot of them,
various other porn subscriptions.
a lot of them are can't just come back.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And so I
like
wonder
a virus.
I wonder if that has happened in this instance.
Yeah.
But now. So I can no longer be embarrassed at the cinema.
So, and how did your partner respond?
She thought it was hilarious.
Oh, good.
She thought it was hilarious. Fortunately, the most fortunate thing about that is obviously she was chuckling because she knew what uncut DVDs Triple X meant, right? So she knew what kind of email it was. Fortunately, on my phone, it doesn't load all the pictures.
Yeah.
Unless you click properly into it.
Yeah.
Close call, guys. Close call at the cinema.
Well, good. That's good. It's nice to have you being the one embarrassing yourself.
It's nice to be it's nice for you to be the butt of the joke. Such a relief.
All right, I need to go to bed. So, thank you very much, everybody, for listening. Good night, and I love you.
Good night, and good luck.
You've been listening to the Guy and Harley podcast, proudly brought to you by Pigville Productions.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.